Today I'm going to be attempting to make mozzarella and butter from scratch. I have been inspired by Ballerina Farm. If you haven't seen her channel, please check it out. She does everything from scratch. No, I will not be milking a cow today. I did just get my milk from the grocery store. She's made it seem like it's a really simple process to do both of these things, so we're going to test it out. Let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start by pouring 1.5 teaspoons of citric acid into our large pot. I'm hoping this pot is large enough. 1 and a half. Then we're gonna pour 1/2 cup of water and stir it to dissolve. Next, you're gonna pour 1 gallon of milk inside of the pot. I got vitamin D whole milk. I don't know if it really matters, we'll see. Ooh, I hope this pot is big enough. We may have some overflowage happening. Next, we're gonna turn on the stove to a medium to low heat, and we're wanting the milk to reach, 90 degrees. So I do have a thermometer somewhere. So we're gonna keep an eye on the milk. The recipe says it's normal for it to start curdling, so don't panic if that happens. So once it reaches 90 degrees, you're supposed to add in the rennet, and so I'm just gonna find out how much I'm supposed to put in there and get it ready, because I'm a little bit stressed about doing this wrong. It's 1/4 teaspoon liquid rennet, which is right here. Look how tiny this little vial is. It's just tiny. Does anyone else have a habit of buying stuff on Amazon and not understanding size? Because I thought this was gonna be a lot bigger. 1/4 teaspoon. I only have 1/2 teaspoon. I don't even have that small. Okay, maybe this is big after all, because it just takes the tiniest amount. Okay, so you're actually supposed to combine the rennet with a cup of water. So we're going to get a cup of water, so we'll be able to have this ready to go when we reach 90 degrees, so we don't have to panic. I'm not even sure what rennet is. Microbial, I don't know, just like a little tiny bit. Combine it with our water. Beautiful. So now we wait. Maybe we can start focusing on the butter situation while this is happening. So we've got our mixer, and all you need to make butter is some heavy cream and some salt. Oh, something's happening over here. Okay, 68.3. I'm also a little bit nervous because I have people coming over in about 30 minutes, and I don't know how long this is supposed to take. So we'll see. Ooh, 81. 10 more degrees. We're getting close. So I bought this garlic roasted bread from the store, and my plan is to cut it up into little slices, and then people can put the mozzarella and some tomato with some basil and then some balsamic glaze. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It's got these like giant chunks of garlic in them, and it's just so delicious. I'm gonna try this with the butter too, so I am very excited. 85, 87, ooh, we might be there. 89, 90. Okay, so now we're going to remove it from the heat. We'll just push it back here. And then we pour in our water with animal rennet. Then we're going to stir for 30 seconds, circular up and down. Circular, I don't know what that means. Circular up and down. Okay, place the lid and then walk away for exactly 5 minutes. Do not touch the pan. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 5 minutes. Alarm is set. It's looking good. I'm excited. At this point, people started showing up for wine night, and it got a little crazy. I wasn't quite ready. But the next step is that you're going to cut crisscross lines through the cheese. My lines weren't very straight. The house got really noisy. I was starting to stress out a little bit and panic because I hadn't even started making the butter yet, but I was determined to finish this video. So then you just go in and stir the cheese. It didn't quite look like the one the Ballerina Farm did, so I was getting a little bit nervous. And then you want to bring up the temperature of the whey that's separating from the cheese. At this point as well, the recipe that I was using had me do something different than Ballerina Farm normally does. So I wasn't exactly sure if it would work out, but basically you take the cheese and try to separate it from the whey, and then you try to squeeze out as much of the whey as possible. When she does it, she normally stretches the cheese in the whey while it's warm, but this one had me separate it completely. You can also save the whey and use it for other things, but I did not. This part got pretty fun, getting to stretch the cheese, adding some salt to it, give it some more flavor. And I was starting to feel pretty proud of how it was coming together because it was definitely looking like mozzarella. And then I took a cheesecloth and decided to squeeze a little bit more of the whey out. Look how cute! And it makes it an even better ball. Look at this.
Gorgeous.
Okay, now we're gonna make our butter. So I think all we do is just whip this bitch. So you just take the heavy cream, you pour it into the mixer, start mixing on low, and you just let it mix. So many people were coming in at this point, and I was starting to feel very frazzled. I put a little cheesecloth over the top because I know it can get a little bit messy. And then I started sort of laying things out for wine night. I was trying to definitely multitask at this point, and I was stressing. I knew this cheese board was not going to be cute, but at this point I just didn't even care. So it was time to try it. Built my own cute little caprese sandwich, and it definitely needed some more salt. I wasn't super jacked about how the mozzarella came out at this point, but when I added a little bit more salt, it was a lot better. And then we were back to the butter, and it was definitely starting to get messy, so I added a little guard, and my little spread was starting to come together. It was looking okay. At this point, I started to turn up the mixer, and we were definitely getting butter. And then I walked away for a second, and I heard yelling and came back to this mess. The butter was separating from the buttermilk, and the buttermilk was going everywhere. And we've got butter, baby. It was looking really good. Then you're gonna take the butter out and separate it from the buttermilk and run it under cold water. And you're gonna try to squeeze out as much of that buttermilk as possible. This part was really enjoyable. And now it's time for the taste test. This butter was really, really good.
That's good.
So I decided to put it all together and make a little grilled cheese with the homemade butter, the homemade mozzarella, and that roasted garlic bread. And this was incredible.
Look at that. I made that.
Turns out making butter and making mozzarella is extremely easy to do. This is totally something you should try. Let me know in the comments below if you decide to try and make any of these.
Good butter, baby.